McDonald, and my company is TNC Electric, and we're getting ready to do an overview of the solar photovoltaic system, Garvey Solar.
Hi, we are standing right now in the main electrical room. The electricity from the city comes in over here, and from here we have a meter. This is our production meter that comes into only for the solar. This is the main AC disconnect, and over here we have the HDP panel, and this is the main solar breaker. So this breaker sends the AC power to our auxiliary electrical room, which is just in the other side of the building, and we're going to go to that room in a little bit. This sign right here is to show anybody that comes to do service that they're standing right here. And this is to make them aware that we have more disconnects somewhere else. That way they don't lock and tag this and they think they're working safely. We want to make sure that it's not about redundancy, it's more about safety. So we have plenty of labels everywhere. To make sure that at any location that we have disconnects, we're also making everybody aware that we have more disconnects somewhere else. Okay. So we were at the main electrical room where we have a label that says we have more disconnects for the solar system in the auxiliary room. So we're in the other room right now. Here on the door, as soon as you open it, we have another label that says you are here now. So in the other room, we were here, now we're here, and it says premises serviced by photovoltaic system, disconnects and breakers located as shown. So as we come in, first of all, we have 11 inverters. Each one produces about 4,200 watts. Each one has DC disconnect that disconnects the power coming down from the panels, and it has an AC disconnect. They're both labeled. And we have fuses in here. So when everything's working correctly, we're sending power to the other room over there. And then from that room, it's going down to Southern California Edison. All these disconnects tie into this AC disconnect. And this switch goes directly to the main service room. So we have the different inverters, 1 through 11. And we can control these by flipping any of these switches. Now, as a safety feature, all these inverters are listed UL 1741, and what that means is they're smart inverters. So if we don't have electricity coming in from the grid, they turn themselves off. That's to prevent somebody down the street doing some work and they turn off the power lines and us sending a whole bunch of power. Typically in a small residential, when we only have 1 or 2 inverters, it's not a lot of power. But in this case, when we have 11 inverters, we're sending quite a bit of power. So as soon as something happens in the street, say truck hits a power pole and we lose the grid, everything turns off. Okay, so they have also what is called MPPT, which is maximum power point tracking. So every few minutes, we're going through a cycle. Maybe you can hear some of these guys clicking. And basically, they're making sure we have good voltage, good amps, and we have the grid coming in. So they make an equation and they figure out what's the maximum volt and amp they can send down. And if, like I said, if they don't recognize the grid coming in, they turn off. Okay, so now we're going to go up to the roof where we have our different arrays that feed the inverters themselves. So we have in the roof, we have 4 different arrays. They have different orientations, so we can accommodate the solar panels on top of the roof. And some of those inverters or some of those panels that are in different locations feed certain inverters. For example, we have this inverter. This happens to be inverter number 8, and it says array 3. So if we're doing service on this particular inverter, we know that if there's a problem, we got to look in array number 3, and specifically we're going to look at strings 3 and 4. Okay, so every single inverter is labeled to what strings or what power source is coming from. Okay, we have about 300 panels, and we can pretty much know which 10 or 12 are coming into here. Okay, so we're going to go upstairs now.
Is there any maintenance that needs to be done on these devices?
On a big system like this, we should come by every few months and cycle the inverter, which means we turn the power off, the DC, we turn the AC off, and we look through the errors, make sure that everything's working correctly. We do this for all the inverters. We maybe get a vacuum cleaner and we clean. We clean this part over here because we can accumulate, a little bit of dust in the heat sinks.
You don't have to open that.
We don't have to open anything. The only ones that open this is us when we come by every few months. We look inside, make sure everything's looking okay. Also, we have here a fan. This fan is working all day. So as you can tell, it's a little bit cooler in here because we want to keep the temperature down for this electrical room, particularly because between the hours of 10 o'clock and about 3 in the afternoon, we're going to be generating a lot of power. So it's going to get a little bit warm over here.
And is this system designed to power this building or to make power to send it onto the grid?
This system, fortunately, when you get into larger buildings, you don't have enough space to install enough panels to provide all the power for the building. What this system is specifically designed to do is to eliminate the upper tiers. So when you have a baseline and your first tiers, are 10, 20 cents, and then the second tier might be, 20 or 30 cents. And as you go high, and then you have time of day usage when you're using power, in the middle of the day, it costs a lot of money, sometimes up to 50 cents. So all the power that we produce knocks directly the upper tiers, and it just happens that we produce it during that time of the day that we have, the peak sun hours and the peak usage, so it reduces the bill. So this is called, sizing to eliminate tiers. Okay, so this is the access door to the top of the roof where we have the solar system. Now maybe from there. So again, as soon as we exit the door into the roof, we have another label. Now this label is also to show whoever's doing the service that we have more disconnects. It also shows the different arrays. And then maybe from this corner, so you can get the from here probably. So an array is we call an array when we have a set of panels. In this case, we have 4 different sets. We have two looking to the south, 1 looking to the east, and 1 looking to the west. Okay. The type of panels that we use here are designed especially to actually produce a little bit more power. As you can see, they're laminates. They don't have a frame. They're all tempered glass. And as the sun comes up in the east, these guys are going to start generating a little bit more power than everybody else. But if you notice, the angle is almost flat. So that means that they're going to continue to generate power until about 3:30 in the afternoon. And the panels that are facing directly west are going to generate power probably till about 5:30. So at the base of each array, we have a box. This box takes the power from all the panels, and we're sending it down to the different inverters. In this case, we have array number 3, and we have array strings number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have the voltage, and we have the amps that we're working with.
What's number 1? This one then?
No, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I know what you mean.
and so this will power, a particular inverter down there. Over here we have another array. This is the smaller array looking south, and we have also a label letting the service people know what's going on with the power coming out from here. On array number 1, because we're a little bit further away from the electrical room, we actually have the inverters 1 through 4 mounted up here. So let's go take a look at that. On this array we have approximately 96 panels that are supplying power for these 4 inverters. We have the DC disconnects under here, AC disconnects as going to the combiner boxes. This other box over here, we have low voltage communications, which is a cable just like the one you use for a computer, and that is tied directly to all of these inverters, and that goes down to the electrical room where we're going to have a monitor, a little computer, so we can keep track of what's going on and how much power we're producing.
Is there any, do they need to come and wash these panels off periodically? Or?
Well, maybe if we look at one of these panels over here, if I just, and these were watched, a couple of weeks ago, and it's just rained a couple of days ago, so we do accumulate, soot, and as you can see, it's really dark. So the more accumulation that we have in the panels, the less of the production. So optimally, if we wash these, once a month, or or maybe every 2 months, where we come and actually wipe these down and we eliminate this, we're going to have a little bit better production. So the more accumulation of this stuff that we have on top of the panels is going to take away from the production.
And what do you guys recommend for using to wipe the surfaces of this?
Well, there's a special solution that we will provide. We can't just use Windex or a regular cleaner, because it will damage, the anti-reflective coating on the panel itself.
And how you do for cleaning up the panel in the mirror?
Well, all of this is ionized aluminum, and this can be wiped down with just a rag that's wet.
Okay.
But we usually when we come and clean everything, we'll get this too.
Oh,
And you just use an extension pole to catch that?
yeah, probably
Yeah.
that. Yeah, with a squish.
And what type of substance do you use? Just a terry cloth towel or a sponge?
Yeah, something something soft that is not going to scratch the surface of the panel itself.
Okay.
Is there any maintenance whatsoever for them to do on these?
Well, when we watch this, we have to come and do it, because we actually have to come and turn all those disconnects off, because we don't want anybody touching this when it's wet or with water, because of all the power that we're generating here.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Better.
Even though everything is grounded, we don't want to run the risk.
Yeah.
Okay, as you can see, as soon as we walk into the roof, we have a label over here. This label is pretty much like the ones we saw downstairs, and this shows the different arrays. The arrays are the different set of panels that we have here. Each array is sending power to specific inverters. So if we have a serviceman that has a problem with inverter number 2, they can look which array is supplying power to inverter number 2, and they can look at this chart and then figure out where array number 1 is, or array number 2 is supplying power for that particular inverter. Also, here, it shows that we have different disconnects located on first floor in electrical rooms. That way they know to turn stuff off downstairs.
That was the overview of the solar system. If you have any questions, feel free to call us at TNC Electric. It's 951-272-3848, and you can email us too on our website. It's tc2wire@sbcglobal.net.
it.